People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps can be purchased at people.etsy.com. And I'm here again to cut the Red Currant soap, but first I got to show you something. Look what happened. It leaked through the freezer paper, and that was just enough to hold it in there like glue. While trying to pull the freezer paper up the way you normally do, paper tore, the sides ripped off, so forth and so on. So then I got a brilliant idea, because I'm thinking, how am I going to get this soap out of a wooden mold? You know. So I took the top of the paper, because it was still there, and folded it in, turned the mold upside down on my quilt and press board, and dropped it from a height of 3 feet. You'd think that'd be enough. No, it didn't pop out of there until the third drop. I told my family, I said, warning, noise. What? Boom. What was that? Boom. And my daughter goes, she said, warning, noise. Anyway, I got the soap out of that mold. So now we're going to cut it. And the bottom, of course, is looking a little raggedy because of the paper being stuck to it. But I figure if nothing else, when it starts to cure, then it'll get harder and, you know, we can smush out all the yuck parts. That's just the only way to describe it. Okay, I had my box set up from earlier. Let me put this coffee completely out the way, because I know me, I'm a klutz. I've been to knock that over some kind of way. But anyway, let's try to get it the rest of the way out of this paper. Because fortunately, the part that I cut earlier, ooh, that's going to be pretty. You know, from the end to test it, that's how it's looking so far. You know, it got stuck to the paper, and because I cut it, I got a clear piece, and that took it right off the end. I'm going to save that as a sample. And hopefully maybe the same thing will happen on this side, since I did do it on both sides. But anyway, this thing smells amazing. You just don't know. Pretty. Okay. Let's get the little corner from the paper. Some of the paper is still on there. Apparently, when it seeped, it kind of like went into the soap. But that's fine, because, you know, we'll still be able to use that for something. Nothing else we can use it as a single sample. So, now we're going to get the cheese cutter over in here. So that way we can get it popping, shall we say. And, of course, the shelf paper open weave that I was told about to keep it from slipping. Let's hope that works. We're about to find out. So, I'm going to put it right here just to get rid of that end piece. Ooh, but look. That's right, Mommy. Can I talk to you about in a minute? Okay. Well, she don't realize I don't stop the world for Mary on TV. Nice group and all, but, you know, I do have a life. Anyway, let's try this again. And I do notice with the shelf paper, or shelf liner rather, it is not slipping. And that's how that one looks. It looks like I poured it twice, don't it? Okay, now, let's scoot that up a little more. And since I didn't put the lever back up, we'll go in reverse. Which I'm surprised actually worked. But, I'm not real sure how I got that double effect going on. I mean, I did the same thing I do with all my Interpot swirls. That's just a perk, I guess. So let's try that again. See what this next piece is going to look like, shall we? Okay, now we're starting to get a couple of variances. That is so pretty. I don't see any of the white soap, even though when I did the Interpot swirl, I used the white base 4 colors, a single circle, and then straight through. And the white did not get blended out at that point in time, so I'm not sure why it's not showing up in the finish. But I ain't complaining because this is gorgeous. So let's try one more, see what we get. Ta-da. I am very happy with this. And it smells amazing. Which is good because that was the oat milk without coffee. And folks around the house are doing this. Hi, Mom, how you doing? Because apparently that's the face I made when I smell the oat milk and lye mixture. Lye and any kind of milk soap makes a real interesting scent. It's not a treat for your senses, I'm telling you. So basically, they got jokes at my expense. There's that one. And I'm going to need to make room in this box. So we're going to put this over here and this over here. Oh, now I line my boxes with typing paper. It just works out better. Plus it gives me something to write down what I did on. And, like, hold on. The second box, because I can always transfer the information, I have all the information on there. What I used, what colors I used, and the cure date. So that is how I'm doing that. So that way I don't have to waste a business card writing cure date and all this stuff and squishing all the information in. So let's see what this one's going to look like. You're not going to believe it. Look at that. This is the other side. So somewhere in the pour, the swirl switched up on me. Okie dokie. And it's testing at a high 8, low 9. And that's fine, because by the time it's done curing, it'll be a different pH altogether. That's going to be too thick. Let's move that back a little. Okay. Now, let's see what we get. Okay. And let's see what else is going to happen here. I really like that the cheese cutter can go through left or right, or forward to back, or however you want to say that. Because that saves me the trouble of having to move the thing back into position every time. So, let's move this back up and try it again. Also, I've been holding it right here instead of at the little handle part. That seems to work out better for me. There we go. Now, we're almost to the end of this batch. I really like that one. And this is all that's left, believe it or not. So, oh, nope, that's going to be thick. I am discovering that the line I made to get a 1-inch marker apparently is just slightly off, but eyeballing it, I could tell where to move the soap to. Okay, now that box is actually getting very, very full. Let's move that out the way. I don't need it anymore, because I can hold it steady with my hand. Or so I think I can. I think I can. There we go. Look at that one. And I actually set up 2 boxes for this, but I'm only going to need the one. And that's the one that got beat up when I slammed it on the floor. But that's okay, because I could smush that back into place. And then I could take the cheese cutter and trim up that edge just a teeny bit. So, it's all good. Oh, wow. And just a ½ inch in, it looks totally different. And that's the piece I sliced off so that way I can even that out. And that's how the soap is going to look. And there's the other piece of that. So, ta-da. Well, I'm holding it upside down. But with the thing of swirl, there's really no right side, wrong side, upside, down side, so forth, so on. And that's the Red Currant fully cut. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And if your soap gets stuck in the mold and you happen to have a quilting press like this, see that? It's padded on one side and a cutting board on the other. Put it on the thing upside down after you protect the soap, like with freeze paper or whatever. Drop it a couple of times because, you know, the padded surface will keep your floor from getting damaged, and the jarring apparently is just enough to jolt that soap right on out of there. So I think the only other thing I could think of doing would be to cut it in half and dig it out, and I didn't have to go there. So this has been People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People of elsewhere on the internet. Before I go there, let me show you my hair. I got it in a ponytail. I put a bunch of moisturizer on it to condition and to rehydrate it and stuck in a ponytail. And I know a couple of people go look at the video and go, but earlier your hair looked like something totally different. Didn't straighten or anything. This is just how it looks when it's wet. When it dries, it'll do that. Hey, how you doing thing? Anyway, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and stay blessed. This has been People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube. Bye now.